plague that affects us all.
Police cracked down on drag racing, sending hundreds to jail.
Big controversy, then a big victory in the NAACP elections.
My son has been robbed of a normal childhood and given an unjust sentence of his own.
No relief for this mother, even as a guilty verdict comes in against the ex-husband who injected his son with AIDS.
They've been robbed of their Christmas spirit in Crum, and the state is the Scrooge in this story.
You're watching the news station, broadcasting live for Dallas and Fort Worth. This is Fox 4 News.
I'd hate to lose my son or my daughter to something like that.
Parents, angry and scared, forced to bail their children out of jail after a big bust last night. Good evening. It's been a popular pastime for decades, but it can also be deadly.
Now, local and state police are teaming up, cracking down on drag racing, and their efforts put more than 200 people in jail last night. Fox 4's Rebecca Aguilar joins us from the newsroom with the story. Rebecca?
Erica and Richard, drag racing on public streets in North Texas is illegal. The sport is so organized now that people are designated to be lookouts for cops. But early this morning, undercover police officers slipped into a drag racing scene in Farmers Branch and shut it down.
It's just not the thing to do. Go to the car races if you can in Dell. Go to the strip at Ennis.
I mean, the thing is, we're just trying to go out there and have fun.
Tom McGuire and his son John are having an argument outside the Farmers Branch Police Department.
This week's observers is next week's race participants.
Tom had to bail his son out of jail. Police say McGuire and more than 280 people, some juveniles, were watching or taking part in drag racing on this public street when they were arrested.
I'd hate to lose my son or my daughter to something like that, whether they were racing, whether they were watching.
Someone gets killed, and you need to be more careful.
Farmers Branch Police, along with officers from Irving, Carrollton, Dallas, and Addison, worked together on the arrest. Police say early Sunday morning there were about 1,000 people out here on Crown Road in Farmers Branch. It was dark out here. It was a party scene. Some people were drinking. These are just a few of the bottles we found. Some parents were out here with their kids, but most people were out here to watch some serious drag racing.
This plague that affects us all. I mean, every area in the Metroplex just about deals with drag racers.
But some of those arrested say drag racing is plain fun.
I know that it's so dangerous. It's really, really dangerous. But I don't think that...
Are you going to do it again?
Of course.
Police issued tickets for everything from expired license plates to driving on the wrong side of the road. Some family members were embarrassed they had to come and bail out their loved ones. Others didn't mind forking out some big bucks, as much as $400.
I guess he's got to enjoy something.
And you don't mind as his parent that he's enjoying this?
He's of age. There's nothing I can do about it.
How old is he?
He's 23.
I think it's stupid. It's really stupid that people watch or go out there to watch people commit suicide, because to me that's a suicide mission.
Street racing been going on for years, so, you know, if I don't go, it's still going to be street races and street races to come.
Police hope hefty fines and jail time will make some drag racing fans put the brakes on their illegal fun. And injuries and deaths are becoming as common as drag racing. Just last week, police say a man was killed when he was drag racing at more than 100 miles per hour on a Dallas street. Live in the Dallas newsroom, I'm Rebecca Aguilar, Fox 4 News.
Thanks, Rebecca. And some rain, some sunshine. Can't seem to make up its mind. We're getting a whole mixture today.
Including the possibility of some cold weather tonight. Meteorologist Ron Jackson joins us now with more on that. Hi, Ron.
Good evening, Richard and Erica. The cold weather has been delayed just a little bit here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. It's up in the Panhandle right now, but we still expect it to come through north-central Texas by late this evening, and you'll definitely know it by early tomorrow morning. Let's take a look at the 12-hour time-lapse of the clouds and the radar. There were a few areas that did receive some very heavy thunderstorms last night. Matter of fact, you folks in Denton, Grayson, and Cook counties saw some severe weather. Storm spotter up in Crum and Denton County reported 68-mile-an-hour winds this morning. But skies did clear out nicely, and temperatures have warmed up very nicely. Look at these readings right now. 74 degrees at Dallas Love Field, 69 in Terrell, 70 in McKinney, 68 in Denton, 60 degrees in Sherman. Yes, the cold weather is on the way, and don't be surprised if we see the first freeze of the season coming up within the next couple of days. We'll talk more about that. We'll talk about the chances of snow in the Texas Panhandle and the 5-day forecast that definitely looks winter-like. We'll talk more about that coming up in a few minutes.
See you then. Thank you, Ron. Tomorrow, the sentencing phase begins for Robert Neville Jr. He's one of 2 Arlington men who confessed to the murder of 19-year-old Amy Robinson. Friday, the jury took just over 3 hours to find Neville guilty of capital murder. Tomorrow morning, more witnesses, more testimony, and arguments will be heard. And then the jury must decide whether Neville should be given the death penalty or life in prison for kidnapping and murdering Amy. Another high-profile sentencing this week, the rape case of a former Dallas radio disc jockey. Gary Babyface Faison will get life in prison for this, or could get rather life in prison for this second rape conviction he's gotten. Prosecutors are painting the former KDFW disc jockey as a serial rapist.
A highly controversial election is over, and Lee Alcorn has been re-elected as the president of the NAACP chapter in Dallas. In November, his name had been removed from the ballot because of eligibility questions. But national officials ruled that even though Alcorn lived in Grand Prairie, he could still lead the Dallas chapter because he works as a consultant and a newspaper columnist in Dallas. This is his 3rd consecutive term as the chapter's president. Alcorn won the election with more than 200 votes over the other candidates. Both U.S. senators from Texas hit the road this weekend to take a look at the state's military installations. Today, Senators Kay Bailey Hutchison and Phil Gramm are at the Naval Air Station in Fort Worth Joint Reserve Base. They want to see how ready we would be in case of a war threat. And the lawmakers want to talk to community leaders about employment and future missions.
I think this particular base is so important to our overall readiness. We have always known that we couldn't fight a war without the reserves. We now find that we can't fight a peace without reserves. We cannot do the peacekeeping missions that we have without the reserves that come right out of this base.
Next week, Hutchison and Graham will tour military bases in El Paso, Wichita Falls, Killeen, and Corpus Christi.
A fight leads to a shooting, and now 2 men are hospitalized. Witnesses say 2 men were beating up a third in the parking lot outside a club in East Dallas when the man taking a beating got a rifle and started shooting. A nearby officer heard the shots and found 2 men lying on the ground. The suspected gunman was arrested. The other 2 men are in critical and serious condition tonight. Not far away, an apparent robbery and murder. Dallas police are searching for the person who shot 29-year-old Herman Gioldo Martinez early this morning. Police say that Martinez was one of 3 men walking in an alley when they were mugged by another 3 men. One of the robbers shot Martinez at close range in the head with a shotgun. It's a small North Texas town. Its inhabitants include a man. One calls himself Santa Claus all year long.
But now there is some controversy in Crum, Texas, over a yearly Christmas tradition. Fox 4's Chandelier has the story.
It's a town filled with Christmas cheer. Every downtown business has decked their halls.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you, too.
Townspeople are in the holiday mood. And old St. Nick even lives here. The city of Crum is so enthralled with Christmas, the town council temporarily changed the city's name to the North Pole of Texas. It even posted signs letting visitors know they were entering the North Pole. Then the Texas Department of Transportation came along and tried to steal the city's Christmas spirit.
Department of Transportation told us we couldn't put them up on the right-of-way.
Why?
Because we didn't have a permit.
Chiflet says the signs weren't hurting anyone. The state just wanted the city to go by its rules.
Bah humbug.
Townspeople say that rule needs to change.
I think it's great. My 6-year-old loves it.
Put them back. Put them back quick.
For what?
I'll roll the streets up, and then you won't have any streets to put signs on.
The city's applying for a permit, so hopefully the signs will be back up before Christmas. But even if they aren't, townspeople say they won't let the state ruin its Christmas, because when you live on the North Pole, there's too much work to get done to worry about a Scrooge. Chandelier, Fox 4 News.
The president's lawyers are gearing up for the chance to defend him against impeachment.
We, the jury, find the defendant.
The verdict is in for a father accused of infecting his son with AIDS. And the Cowboys, with their worst performance of the season, we have reaction and all your lowlights. Plus, beautiful sunset here from one of our downtown tower cams. Dallas and Fort Worth are going to get some cooler weather coming up. We'll tell you about it.
Fox tonight. After the holiday special, Annabelle's Wish, Grandpa needs a transplant, and only Homer can save him.
This'll all be over soon. What's this?
An all-new Simpsons. Then, got a secret? Third Rock's Joseph Gordon-Levitt has a big one. A brand new Bat 70 show. And Mulder's trapped in another man's body and missing out on the time of his life.
Oh, yeah.
An all-new X-Files.
Tonight on Fox 4. What happened to me could happen to anyone. My doctor warned me, but I wouldn't listen. I got hooked on the Cowboys play-by-play sweepstakes, where every play is a winner. So I cheered for them all. Stupid sweepstakes.
Experts say it's important to eat a good breakfast. I say it's important to eat a delicious breakfast, even if it isn't until lunch or dinner time. Take IHOP's mouth-watering country breakfast. Tender ham served with 2 eggs, hash browns, and 2 country griddle cakes. Only $4.99. Only from IHOP. And you can eat it morning, noon, or night. Whether you're an expert or just a real hungry amateur, anytime's a good time for breakfast at IHOP.
The 99 Ford Taurus has so much to offer, like 40 standard safety and security features, a 5-star frontal crash test rating. We managed to make it go faster, too. How? We took $1,000 off. The 99 Ford Taurus. Same equipment as the 98, but $1,000 less, and still built to last.
This will really blow you away. Thanks to a special regional finance rate, you can drive one for just $249 a month. See your Texas Ford dealer today.
You're watching Fox 4 News, the news station.
That's how astronauts aboard Shuttle Endeavour woke up this morning. Today, they added the first American component to the International Space Station. Astronauts used a robot arm to connect a 6-sided intersection to a Russian module. It will then be used to attach future pieces of that station. New controversy brewing in the impeachment inquiry. The president's lawyers are demanding more time to defend their client.
They want to call several witnesses and take 3 or 4 days, but Chairman Henry Hyde would like to vote by Saturday. He's only set aside 1 day, Tuesday, for Mr. Clinton's lawyers to present their case. Meanwhile, the speculation is growing over what the result of that impeachment vote will be. Some expect a mostly party-line vote short of the number needed. Others, including Houston Republican Tom DeLay, say the possibility of impeachment is becoming more likely.
My sense is it's about a 50-50 proposition right now. I think if we voted today, the president would be impeached.
Stay with Fox 4 News for continuing coverage of the presidential impeachment inquiry.
Political bigwigs gathered in Nashville today to remember Albert Gore Sr. The vice president's 90-year-old father died yesterday of natural causes. The elder Gore, a 3-term Democratic senator, was voted out of office in 1970 for his opposition to the Vietnam War. Today, President Clinton and other friends and colleagues praised Gore for those ideals. Gore will be buried Tuesday.
A late-night verdict and a recommended sentence of life in prison for a Missouri man found guilty of injecting his infant son with HIV-tainted blood. It took the jury 8 hours to return the first-degree assault verdict against Brian Stewart. Now, prosecutors say Stewart stole the tainted blood and then injected his son to avoid paying child support. The boy, now 7, has full-blown AIDS. Jurors recommended that he get life in prison, but sentencing is set for next month.
It's the Dickens Christmas celebrated Texas style. We'll take you back to the 19th century to show you the festivities. And a look at our downtown Dallas tower cam. You may need to pull out that heater tonight. Ron Jackson's in next with your forecast.
We at Best Buy receive many ideas in our idea box about helping out the less fortunate, which is why we're at Toys for Tots drop site. We encourage all of you to reach out this year and touch the lives of others. Lend a hand. Stock a shelf. Donate a little of yourself. Make the world a brighter place this holiday season. Now that's a great idea.
Feeling hungry? Coulter's has just what you need. An all-you-can-eat special for only $10.99. That's right, $10.99 for all the delicious hickory smoked Coulter's barbecue you can eat. Certified Angus beef brisket, slow-smoked turkeys and chicken, link sausage, and classic spare ribs, all for only $10.99.
At Coulter's Barbecue.
It's the celebration of the year, Toyotathon's 20th anniversary. Get incredible year-end values on Camrys with $500 customer cash. And take advantage of low 0% APR financing. The biggest celebration of the year is at your Toyota dealer. So don't miss Toyotathon's 20th anniversary going on now. See your North Texas Toyota dealer today.
To carry the weight, to withstand any burden, to provide enduring security takes strength. Strength beyond people's means. It's the financial strength in every life insurance policy New York Life has ever written. Strength is the steel this company was built around. It's what makes New York Life the company you keep.
And good evening, everyone. Well, we did have a thin line of showers and thunderstorms come across the Dallas-Fort Worth area early this morning. Not much rain associated with it, but we did have some gusty winds. Winds gusted up to about 50 to 60 miles per hour at times over portions of Denton, Cook, and Grayson counties, but very little damage reported, if any. Matter of fact, I haven't heard of any damage at all today. 75 and 64 was the high and low temperature. Normals for this time of year are 60 and 39. Remember that, because I think starting tomorrow, temperatures are going to be below normal. Maybe below normal for a while. 84, the record high in 1966, and 11 set back in 1950. Here's our fly-through weather this evening. Here's that line of showers and thunderstorms that came across the Dallas-Fort Worth area earlier this morning. Officially at DFW Airport, just 13 1/100ths of an inch of rain, so not much rain associated with this thin line of thunderstorms, but nevertheless, it will continue to work its way into East Texas, producing scattered showers and thunderstorms there. There's another cold front up here in the Texas Panhandle, which is expected to come through here by early tomorrow morning, and you'll definitely know it by the time you wake up by tomorrow morning. Here's a 24-hour time lapse of the satellite loop. Most of the precipitation, again, has now moved east of the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Very thin line, as you can see here, which stretches all the way up into the Great Lakes states. Some pretty good snows coming down over areas of Wisconsin, Iowa, as well as northern Kansas. And here's the frontal features, and this is definitely a very strong front. This one will come through. It will give us a shot of colder weather towards the beginning of the week, and another one is expected to come through here towards the middle of the week. So I think this 70-degree weather that we've been spoiled with for the last several days is coming to an end. 31 degrees at Minneapolis-St. Paul right now, 23 up in Bismarck. Well, later on tonight and early tomorrow morning, here comes the frontal system, and it will be moving through the area. The winds will be shifting back around towards the northerly direction, and yes, snow is expected over the Texas Panhandle, probably late tonight and early tomorrow morning. Here's what's happening across the region right now. Look at these temperatures. It's 36 degrees at Dalhart, 54 at Lubbock, 49 at Childress, and a closer look at north central Texas. Everybody still generally in the 60s and 70s. You'd never know that there is a change in our weather pattern. 72 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Here's my forecast. Clouds late, turning colder. An overnight low near 41. Winds will be shifting northwesterly at 10 to 15. Mostly cloudy and cold on Monday. Matter of fact, temperatures tomorrow should be about 20 degrees colder than what we had today, 53 degrees. Look at this extended forecast. I think by Tuesday morning, if skies clear, we could very well have our first freeze with temperatures in the low 30s. 30s are expected for overnight lows with another chance of rain Thursday and Friday. Little chilly for the next couple of days, so everybody has been warned that it is coming.
But you're right, we've been spoiled.
We sure have.
All right, thanks, Ron.
Still ahead, the Cowboys with an absolutely awful showing in New Orleans. We'll go live to the Big Easy for the aftermath. And the 49ers pushed to overtime by the Panthers. Gerard has all the sports next.
Imagine TV.
Did we pass Springfield already?
Yep. It's so small it's easy to miss in a car as big as your Grand Marquis. Back it up. You just passed it again.
The full-size Mercury Grand Marquis. Big everywhere. V8 power, 6-passenger room, vacation-sized trunk. No wonder it's the Southwest's best-selling full-size car. And #1 in owner loyalty with the government's highest crash test rating.
Slowly, slowly. Welcome to Springfield.
Imagine yourself in a Mercury.
Well, howdy, I'm Al Banker. Do you know how many health plans are available to businesses and individuals around here? 2,517 different health plans. Now, you could call all those companies and compare all their rates. Or you could make one quick call to 1-800-THANKS-AL. After we have your information, it takes less than 2 minutes to search through all 2,517 different plans to find you the absolute best deal, which makes sizing up your health care a whole lot easier.
Pierre is really a very, very canny performer. Wherever he sees change, he goes up and he charms the change right out of their pockets. Look at this. It's just, we make tons and tons of change. This is just a couple of days worth of change. Whew. We found this machine. It's amazing. Coinstar. You just take your change up to it, you pour it in unsorted, it adds it up, it gives you a receipt, you take it up to the cash register, you get cash. Now cash we can use. Pierre loves my costumes.
Coinstar. Change your change.
Some things don't taste their best the day they're made. You'd never drink wine the day they crush the grapes, or eat a green banana.
No way, Dad.
And that's the secret to Papa John's traditional dough. We give the yeast several extra days to work its magic. We never use dough made the same day like some folks. Nature rewards those who exercise patience.
Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
Now, get a large one-topping pizza for $8.99 and your second for just $6.99.
After being outgunned on national TV on Thanksgiving and having 9 days to heal both physically and mentally, not to mention 3 full days of rest last weekend, you'd think the boys would be fully focused for today's battle in the Big Easy. But they weren't, and it wasn't easy at all. All week long, the boys talked about how this was now the most important game of the year. There was a lot of talk. First quarter, Troy in trouble, the screen not set up in time. Aikman throws it away and gets called for the intentional grounding in the end zone, which of course is a safety. Chan doesn't agree. From the beginning, you could see the focus wasn't there. Troy hooks up with Patrick Jeffers for a first down, but it comes back on a holding call. Dallas penalized 9 times today. Next possession, Troy on the money to Michael, but what kind of an effort is this? Troy wants to know as well. Boys settled for a 3, led it 3-2. Dion watching again. His absence was big. Then the second, Kerry Collins scrambles out of the pocket, finds Aaron Craver for the 4-yard touchdown and a 9-3 New Orleans lead. Then, just before the break, Kevin Mathis in man coverage with Darren Woodson creeping up for the run. Collins spots it, goes deep to Andre Hastings. Mathis can't wrap up with the bad arm. Hastings has gone 89 yards, 16-3 Saint. That's the second longest passing TD the boys have ever given up. The leapfrog needs a lot of work, by the way. Artie Smith trying to find some passion from his teammates, but nothing works. Troy pressured again, hit and fumbles. Boys ended up punting. Aikman with men in his face all day long. Cowboys just 182 total yards on offense. When it was over, the boys couldn't even get Emmett the rushing touchdown for the career record of Marcus Allen. Smith just 15 yards on the day, and he can taste the frustration. Boys get embarrassed, 22-3. The final, they fall to 8-5. Kerry Collins is 3-0 quarterbacking against the Cowboys. Well, definitely a rough day for the boys down in the Dome. Our Max Morgan witnessed the beating and has more. Max.
Gerard, it got ugly early for the Cowboys. The offense just never got it going. The New Orleans Saints, on the other hand, had a very good game plan and carried it out to near perfection. After the ball game, the Cowboys admitted that they had their heads handed to them.
It was a sorry display of offense out there today. And it was a little better on defense, but not a lot. And special teams were only fair. We got the dog beat out of us. They played well, and we didn't play very well.
I thought the performance was pretty poor. I think there was enough responsibility for everybody as to why we got beat and why we played the way we played today. It's not easy when you go out and you play like this, and it was a poor performance. And you got to get something out of it. You got to learn something from it. And know that we have to play better.
I've been here 9 years. I ain't never seen nothing like this before in my life. This wasn't even close. This was so one-sided that it's as if we didn't even show up. And it was almost like it was a practice game all over again.
But again, the big story, no offense for the Cowboys, only 8 yards total rushing the football. Emmitt Smith only 6 yards on 15 carries. They lose the game 22-3. Doesn't get any easier. They're on the road to Kansas City next week. G-Man will be back live at 10 with more on today's game, but right now, let's get it back to you.
All right, Max, we'll see you on Sports Sunday tonight. By the way, Kansas City playing really tough against the Broncos right now. With the boys failing to clinch a playoff spot, the division title race stays wide open if Arizona could fly by the Giants out in the desert. Redbirds waste no time getting busy in the first. Adrian Morrell from 9 yards out. Well, you didn't see it, but he scored a touchdown. The G-Men with Kent Graham running the show come right back. The screen to Tiki Barber. He gets lots of help, and he's off to the races. A 90-yard touchdown jaunt to the score, tying the game at 7-7. Right now in the fourth, the Giants lead it 23-17 as Adrian Morrell goes in. Now the Niners hoping to beat Finer in Carolina. Second quarter, tricky. The halfback option, Terrell Owens with the catch, 14-7 San Fran. Niners led it 28-7 at one point, but the Panthers rallied. Steve Berline to the Rocket. Rocket Ishmael 40 yards on the catch and the score. The lead just 28-21. This one went overtime, and after the Niners recovered a fumble, Wade Ritchie hits a 22-yard field goal for the 31-28 San Francisco victory. Checking the NFL scoreboard on week 14. Buffalo over Cincinnati 33-20. Jacksonville, no surprise there. Atlanta holds off Indy 28-21. New England makes it 3 in a row. They beat Pittsburgh. Washington 4 better than San Diego. And the Jets win in controversy on a late Vinny Testaverde touchdown. Well, after yesterday's wild upset Saturday in college football, everyone anxious to see what would happen in the Bowl Championship Series concerning the big games. Well, of course, it's Tennessee and Florida State in the Fiesta for the national title. UCLA and Wisconsin in the Rose Bowl, Ohio State and Texas A&M in the Sugar, with Syracuse and Florida in the Orange Bowl. Also, TCU will face USC in the Sun Bowl. Looks like Texas is going to be in the Cotton Bowl because K-State is going to be playing in the Alamo Bowl, and they are not very happy about that.
We'll talk to you more at 9 o'clock.
Okay.
Thank you, Gerard. Well, finally, Galveston's historic Strand is transformed into a quaint old English town for the holidays.
They're celebrating Christmas in Dickens style. A variety of musicians flank the 25th annual Dickens on the Strand to play their holiday tunes. Thousands of visitors turned out for the food and fun and festivities. Some even got into the 19th century spirit, dressing up in Victorian finery.
Looks like fun. That's the early news.
We'll see you back here at 9.